Hello, come in. Today I'm going to make a short video to show you how to use mulberry paper. I am Judy Mullins and my page is Vintage to Chic on Facebook. I have two Etsy shops, which are vintage2chic.etsy.com, where I sell my finished items, and I have another shop where I do digital designing, and it is called Maddie B Design Studio.etsy.com. I needed to cover this glass, this mirrored tray. I'm going to show you. This is a beautiful tray. Hope you'll come and follow us on Facebook. I'm Vintage to Chic on Facebook. I think I told you that. But anyway, this is a beautiful tray that I purchased at one of the local stores here. And as you can see, it's jeweled around the edges. I love doing the mirrored trays. These are mirrored dresser trays. This happens to be the smaller one. And I'm going to cover this glass with mulberry paper, and then tomorrow I'm going to put roses or some kind of design on it. Okay, if you don't know what mulberry paper is, it's a fibrous paper. This is a sheet of the white with gold running through it. It's all wrinkled up, and that's the way it comes. It comes in all different shades. Every color of the rainbow, you can get mulberry paper in all different colors. And I purchased, you can get it on Amazon, but I purchased from mulberrypaperandmore.com, and I always buy it. See, I use a lot of orange around Halloween. I use a lot of the orange. You'll see I've got orange in that. And I use a lot of the white. There's yellow here. There's all different peach. You can get it in all different shades. But I use a lot of the white, and I use a lot of the orange. I buy mine in the huge sheets, which are like 3 foot by 3 foot. They're 36 by 36, something like that. And if when you go on to purchase it, most of these large sheets you have to get on someplace like Mulberry Paper and More. I don't think you can buy these on Amazon in the larger sheets. You get it in just the standard paper sheets. This is a large one, and this is white with the gold running through it. Just a very large sheet of paper. And you want 25 GSM if you are covering glass. Now I use it to cover a lot of bottles. As you can see, this bottle right here has been covered with mulberry paper, and it is now ready to decoupage on. You do it one day, next day it's dried. You can do your decoupage, your work on it. It's beautiful. You can see a lot of things on my page that's done with mulberry paper, or in my shop you can see a lot of things. Now, most people, that when they're teaching you how to use it, it just takes some mulberry paper and your glue. And my glue is Mod Podge. I use this Mod Podge, which I purchase by the gallon, and I put it in a small container, and I put a little bit of water in it because it's too thick, just like it is. Then you just want a brush, a Mod Podge brush to work with. Usually I use a wide one. And you'll find most people will tell you, tear this in little tiny pieces and put it on there. That's not necessary. You don't want to do that. The less time it is. So I've got a big piece here. And like I said, it's white with gold running through it. And I'm going to put as big a pieces as I can possibly work in this tray to get me started. Now, getting over to the edge of here inside, I can let that go over to the edge a little, because after it's dried good, I can take a sharp razor blade or a razor knife, and I can go in and trim that edge, because around my mirror there is a space. Okay, now this piece covers almost, see, I'm going to almost cover this tray with one piece of paper. So I'm going to slide it right over to my edge where I want it to go, hold it down with my left hand, pull up the right side. Doesn't take much glue to glue it down. I'm going to take my glue here, put me just a little bit on here to get me started. I don't need to put glue. I've got some gook in that one. I don't need to put glue all the way around that piece. This is done right over top of the mirror. Okay, now I'm going to lay it down, take my fingers, and just where I've had the glue, start pushing that out. It's wrinkled, so you don't have to worry. It's not like using a napkin that you have to worry about the wrinkles, because this paper's wrinkled anyway. Now I've only got glue right here. Now I'm going to start working on the top of it. I'm going to come in here, using a very little amount of my glue, and I'm going to work my way around till I've covered all of that paper that's in there. I've covered it with that glue. Not very much. I don't want it to be real wet. This will be dry within 30 minutes. This will be dry. Okay, you could even work on it the same day that you're using it. But I want it all glued down, and you'll see it'll, as you put the glue on, you'll see it turns transparent. And it will cover that mirror till you won't even know that mirror's under there. It'll just make a beautiful piece for you, a background to do your decoupage on. So I'm working my way right around the edges. Like I said, my edges are overlapping a little bit into this piece. See here, I'm going to turn my camera down just a little bit so you can see a little bit more. See, my edges are overlapping a little. And I won't have to put very many small pieces around this. You can cover a whole bottle with one piece. As long as it fits what you're working on, you can put it over the whole thing. You do not have to tear it into pieces to piece it together. That's just a waste of good time. See, I'm working myself right on out to the edge. I'm going to do this in a class tomorrow, so I want it, and I will be showing them how to work this. We have classes on my Vintage to Chic page. We also have a private class that you can join. I have vintagetoschic.com, where you can sign up for private class. But I'm working myself right out to the edge of that paper. And this paper's wrinkled. Like I said, you don't have to worry about wrinkles because it's already wrinkled. Just want to pull it tight as you go around there. Pull it tight. When it's all good and dry, later tonight or in the morning, I'll take a razor blade and go around those edges and cut off all that excess paper. This is really quick. You can cover bottles. Oh gosh, you can cover them. This tray's a 15-minute job to get this ready. If you sit there and tear all that up in little tiny pieces, you're going to spend an hour. You're going to spend an hour tearing off your pieces, another 30 minutes putting them all on there and piecing them together. It's the way it's made. It's not like a puzzle. You don't have to do that to get it on there. See, I've got all that side is already done. See, you can tell the difference in the color from this and this one that hasn't been glued down. Okay? I've been wanting to do this little video for a long time because my girls we do a lot of it in classes, and this gives you just a video to show you how to do it. If I'm on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you'll subscribe to our channel and come along. We're just getting started on YouTube, so we don't have very much on there, but we will have. Okay. I've been painting and doing decorative arts for about over 40 years, so I've been at it a long time. It's been my life's work as a public. I've worked at it all these years. I owned a craft shop for years, did shows for about 30 years, 35 years. I taught classes for about 25, 30 years. Okay, now I'm ready to go in and piece in where those spots are at. So now I'm going to go and get as big a piece as I can get that will fit into the spot where I need it. See, I just tore this piece off. I'm going to set it down right here, lay it down in there, and start piecing it in. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit completely because I can go back in. And if you overlap a little bit, that's okay too. If you overlap your design a little bit, you really don't even have to put any glue underneath that because it's sticking down to the piece that you've already got down there. So I can just go in right on the top of it and start pulling it out to get that glued down on there. I'm going to have very few pieces that I have to tear a little small piece to put in there. I do a lot of mirrors that never pass up. These mirrors I purchase new, but I never pass one up in a yard sale or a thrift store or wherever. I never pass up a mirrored tray because they are gorgeous done up. Okay, now I'm going to cut me out some little pieces. I need a little piece right there. I'm going to go in, set this little piece down in here. See that it fits as much close as I can, just a little piece there. You don't want to take overlap, way out into the middle. That's not necessary. So you just need, and sometimes you need a little bitty tiny piece. I got one little spot there. I'll just lay a piece in that little spot and put me some glue on top of it. Now I've got one right over here. Let me get me another. I don't like the edges of the paper. I like to go into the center. Okay, now I've got a piece right up here. It needs to be covered. Right up here on the top. Didn't put any glue down there to begin with. I just laid it down because my paper is wet enough to hold it in place. See, I've got all that done. Let's see, I've got, I've just got this little spot down here is all I got left to do. And we're only 10 minutes into this thing, into this video. So you can see how fast it is. Now, I've got me a little piece, gonna go right there on that edge. Put it right down there. Work my way right around to that corner. After this dries, then you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to get started on your project. Okay. Get me another little piece. One right there. Now sometimes if you're working on a bottle, I do a lot of gallon jugs with this, a lot of big, big jugs, and put lights in them. Lights shows up beautiful on these. Sometimes you might dry the next day and you may see a spot that you missed, and you can always go back and just put a little piece in that spot the next day or whenever you need it, whenever you notice it, just go back in and fill that little spot in with a little piece of paper. I'm right up to my final edge here. See if I'm down on the wrong. I'll turn it to where I get it in there and not have to cut me another one, I hope. It's tedious to get up in that, to get right up close to my edge with that. Okay, now I've got it. And you can tell as it dries, it'll turn more transparent, just be a pretty covered piece. And you could put the pink in here, any color you wanted to use. And then I'll put some, I'm going to do some red roses in this tomorrow. Okay, checking my edges, just going around my edges here. And I'll have to cut all that excess out when it's good and dry. Now, I don't want to go in and cut on that until it's good and dry, because you will cause your paper to come up. You want that to be dried, real good. Okay, now I've got that totally covered, and I've only been 13 minutes making a video to show you how to cover that. Okay, ladies, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back and watch us next time. Follow along. Come follow me on my Facebook page, and follow along. Let us know if you do. Let us know where you see us, where you're coming from. I always say hello. Bye, ladies. Catch you later.